Hello, this is Victor at RestoringMercedes.com. This video is for Anil in California. In general video of both throttle bodies that came from, if you find these throttle bodies in V12 Mercedes 94 and 95 models, S-Class or SL. Now these particular units came from the SL. As you can see, the wires are short. So these are sl600 94-95 model. Now, Anil, so basically I just opened them up. I haven't done anything with them yet. Just wanted to show you the problems with wires and other things that I see here, and so you can see firsthand what's happening here. So these are the wires in the passenger side unit. As you can see, they're pretty bad. I haven't touched them. This is how they were. As you can see, there's still all that loose insulation and dirt. That's some grease from the from motors that accumulated on the side of the cover there. So the wires are pretty bad. Definitely have to be done. Okay, so this is the passenger side. They cracked in there too. And I saw you cut into the insulation a little bit just to see if you see wire deterioration. There you could see it, but here they're even worse. So just so you know that. The other side, let's go one by one. Other side, this is the potentiometer side. So now here, the cracking on the potentiometer case, that also has to be addressed. As you can see, right in this area here, we have cracks. This has to be put back together, because if it won't be, then there will be a problem where it's not going to track straight. Okay, so this has to be sorted out. So I'll fix that. I can do that. I can glue them together. Cracks here. So the only area that holds it in center is this area right here. This area right here. Cracks over there. This is not great. It will still work, but this is not good. So it's better off glued right now before other ones give in. And then the motor. Now in terms of the motor seemed to be okay. It feels okay. It's tight, but it feels like it's turning still. So what I'm gonna do here for the motor test is a very simple thing. The motor, what I wanna do is I wanna apply a very, very low voltage to it, and if it turns, that means that brushes still make contact. Here's my power supply unit. It sets at 2 volts, and I have my probes. So we're gonna just put in 2 volts to it only. Very, very low voltage. So sorry, I'm trying to make a video holding the camera. It's actually my cell phone. That is a piece of insulation stuck in the gear. Again, I haven't washed, cleaned or anything yet, so that was a piece of insulation stuck in the motor. Now we'll activate it. As you can see, with only 2 volts it activates. So that is good news, at least to me. So it's up to you if you do want to go through motors. I can definitely go through them before they seize. They will seize, it's inevitable. They will seize, but so far they seem to work okay. So that's just an extra expense, but it's a peace of mind expense. So when I go, I open them up, I shave down the brushes, so motors do not become like this. This is the burnt motor right here. Just show you real quick. There. This is the burnt motor, as you can see. Over here, this is where it actually fused. The brush fused to the holder, burnt out. I tried to remove it, but it was completely melted. So, same here, as you can see, that was a melt spot. It still turns, though. The bearing can be saved, and the armature itself is good. So, there are some parts I can use from this motor. Unfortunately, this particular portion here where brushes stay cannot be found anywhere. So that's a shame, because you cannot find these motors anywhere either. So either the whole new throttle body has to be purchased, or basically it. So that is in terms of the motors. Right now these motors turn okay. So that's the passenger side unit. Now going to the driver side unit. Basically, we're having the same problem here with the driver's side. Standard problems. The wires are bad. As you can see, insulation's fallen off pretty badly here, really fallen off, so it's like becomes basically dust. If I'm going to touch it now, as you can see, I'm not putting force to it, I just touch it and it just crumbles right off. So obviously the wires have to be done. In terms of the potentiometer case, here's the potentiometer case. Now this one has two cracks also. Sorry for choppy video again, you know, it's just me. Now here are the cracks on the driver's side. Also, there is a little bit of oily residue, so it has to be cleaned very nicely. This unit, as you can also see, it is held on by this pin right here, and this pin right here. This is separated on one side. The other side is separated completely on both sides. So I can basically move it. I mean, this has to be centered. So that's the problem on the potentiometer case. The motor itself basically going to be the same as on the other side, on the passenger side. So applying 2 volts to it, it spins, so the motor is working okay right now. Again, once it's on the bench test overnight, I will know more if you decide not to do the motors. And if you do decide to do the motors, I can certainly open them up, clean them up, and shave down some brushes and armature. Because another thing that you would want to do is, going back to this burnt motor, is that the actual armature contacts, see how with the age of working they basically burn out a little bit. These were cleaned up. I tried to clean it because I was trying to keep this brush in place, but brush was, you know, even after cleaning, I couldn't get brush to make contact, so I had to remove the brush, but while removing it, it broke. So this is the idea here. This is the inside of the motor, of that burnt motor. I don't know if you can get a good shot of it, but here's the inside. It's pretty nasty looking. Okay, so it's pretty terrible. So yeah, that's in terms of that. And yeah, so this is basically how it all comes down. It's what comes down to. I just wanted to make this video for you before I do the work. Email it to you so you can see it. And obviously I have your e-gas module in the box that I will test as well, but most likely I see problems with throttle bodies. That's 100%, they have to be done. So hopefully, due to these shorts, e-gas module has not been damaged yet. Most of the time they just shut down and they don't get damaged, but sometimes they do get damaged because of short, because these wires are pretty bad. Also, I can feel that this motor spins more freely than this one. I feel more resistance on this gear, so there's probably already a process starting for these brushes to get stuck. So they get stuck, they don't glide against the armature, even though it still works, but they don't glide. They should glide. This one turns a little easier, I mean, to my feel. So it would have been advisable to do the motors, just for the peace of mind. And of course cleaning both units. So these are the cases. So this is the driver's side case. It has a little less dirt, like the you know, that residue over there you see on the corner. That's a little bit of oily residue from gears. Whereas on the passenger side there is more. You can see it's more accumulation. And cases. These cases usually nothing happens with this. These are small covers. So this is basically the assessment of your units. And once I upload this video, I'll call you back, so let's see it, and we'll see how it goes, see what we're doing. But these are definitely rebuildable units. I can totally fix them, and they will last another 10 years. Okay, well, this was Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com, and thank you for watching.